Legal disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. With that being said, I do not claim ownership of any copyrighted material featured in my videos, and I also don't make these videos with the intention of profiting off of them.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the program. So, not really too big of an exposition dump today, but I was just feeling nostalgic lately for the NES because, well, it's not to say I've been turned off the NES, but I feel like the NES has been kind of oversaturated a lot these days, right, as the big 80s nostalgia box. And especially during the pandemic, when I started getting into more other consoles like PlayStation stuff, as well as, you know, other Nintendo stuff, I just never really bothered to touch the NES for a while. But now I've been feeling kind of nostalgic, and I'm willing to reintroduce myself, you know, the only way I know how, which is with Super Mario Brothers, right? Now, yeah, aside from that, just a little apology I'd like to issue for the audio being all fucky for the time capsule video. That will never happen again because I figured out how to get the audio working. Some kind of weird stuff was going on and it came out mono outputted, right? The audio clips I recorded. But this time around, I figured out how to how to fix that. So hopefully we shouldn't have to deal with any more bullshit like that anymore, where it only comes out on one side. But yeah, no. Aside from that, man, sit back, relax, get yourself some snacks, and let's play with some motherfucking Nintendo Power, baby.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. Oh yeah. It's good to be back, man. Like, Super Mario Brothers is a game I oddly feel nostalgic for, like, despite not growing up in the era of the NES, like, you know, this game always holds a special place in my heart. And honestly, I like revisiting this game more than 3. That may be a hot take, but you know what? 3 is like the one everybody worships as the second coming of Christ. Like, I mean, even when AVGN made his review of it, he literally littered it with more religious references than Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? But yeah, Super Mario Brothers is great, but honestly, like, it's just weird coming back to this game with a traditional controller, because, well, you know, when you're someone like me who flaunts their virginity around like a suit of honor, or a suit of armor, or a badge of honor, I guess would be better to describe it as. You know, as a game collector, right? I've honestly played a lot of versions of this game, and I honestly think I own a problematic amount of copies of this game, because, what the hell, I got the OG, of course, right? I own the version on the NES Classic. I own, I think, 2 copies of this game on the 3DS, because I own one that's just the vanilla Virtual Console version, and the version that's like sped up and hopped up on like crack for NES Remix, right? That's included as a free game for NES Remix. And I also own the Game Boy Color remake, right? Super Mario Deluxe, which I originally wanted to just check out of morbid curiosity, right? Because I thought it would be painful with the scrunched screen, but it's actually really, like, they did a good job, you know? It's actually a really faithful port. And when you get past, you know, getting tripped out from the scrunched screen, it's actually a really good port of Super Mario Brothers, and it's also bang for your buck because it includes Lost Levels as a free little bonus game. And on top of that, there's a lot of really cool bonus content too, eh? And there's a lot of, I think there's even a bloody competitive scene. Like, I've seen venues and shit where, like, they stream people competing in, like, tournaments, right, with the mini games in Super Mario Deluxe. It's really cool. And of course, I also got the classic, you know, the All-Stars remaster, right, for the Super Nintendo. Well, not the cartridge. Excuse me. I own the disc, right, because of the They made one for the Wii for some reason, right? Where it's just the game on a disc as like a little 25th anniversary gimmick. I know there's a collector's version, but I own just the regular copy of that, so it's literally just Super Mario All-Stars with nothing else. Just, you know, could have put that on the Wii Shop channel, but oh well. It's cool to own it as a disc, I guess. But, yeah, no, I've played so many versions of this game. I've even gotten myself used to playing this on a keyboard. Yeah, like, I don't know how I did it. I used the directional buttons with this hand and the buttons with this one. This is a funny story I'm about to tell you all, you know, kind of related to that, right? Because, oh boy, this is gonna be great. This is a story I think most of you guys who know me in person have heard of, but if not, and especially if you're a returning viewer, this is going to be a treat because this is a new episode of High School Chronicles for you all. I haven't brought that back yet, but oh dear God! So this is a flashback to grade 9. All of y'all OGs, I think you know what I'm talking about with this one, right? How that school year ended, but this is flashback to 2018, right? The build-up to the summer of 2018, last class of the last semester. So needless to say, stakes were high, man. And in that class, it was a rudimentary computer class. It was, I don't want to, you know, demean it by saying, oh, it's a bird course, but that was treated, yeah, it's more of a bird course than a, you know, typical academic, you know, study this, don't fuck the exam up or your life will be over, and we'll never like you and be your friend. Like, it's not that kind of a class, but, you know, or it's not the kind of typical computer class you'd think of where there's a whole bunch of complex coding and shit involved, where or learning how to like edit videos and stuff. Although I did eventually take one of those kinds of courses because you know, I know how to video edit. That's what I'm doing nowadays, right? Based on that knowledge, and also you know, I don't want to start tooting my own horn or anything, but that's also I got my connections to do it professionally too, eh? For a time, that was nice. But no, moving on from that, back to the story time, right? Back in grade 9. This course was relatively rudimentary, you know, basic, if the website doesn't have an HTTPS, that's no good kind of course, right, where they taught you all the dangers of malware and stuff like that, and like how to shop, or how to identify like good PC parts and stuff like that, when you're shopping for one, that kind of stuff. And, you know, in that class, obviously, the assignments were very easy to just breeze through. And I remember one of the things I loved doing when I had a lot of free time is I wasn't the kind of kid who you know, would skip class and start doing cool shit that would be adapted into a John Hughes movie. When I was in high school, I was a very, well, I wouldn't say by the books, but, you know, I was a goody-goody. I didn't really do any skippy school kind of stuff. But, you know, I would just be dicking around on the computer like a chump. And one of the things I liked doing on the computer when I was done my work for the rest of the class was to go on those little, I don't know if these are like a relic of the past at this point, but those little browser-based emulation websites, if anyone remember those, so like the sites where they have the ROMs all preloaded and everything like that, and you play them like they're a Flash game, right? Sites like that were what I used to love going on, and people who know me, yes, that was how I was grinding Street Fighter 2 back in the day. But another thing I liked doing in that class was playing Super Mario Brothers through one of those, right? And I taught myself how to get used to the direction, like the arrow keys being the directional buttons, and then like Z and X on this side being the
Today, Junior!
buttons you press. It was really weird, right? It was really weird. But yeah, no, what was I going off? Oh yes. So moving on with that, this is the infamous part of the story, right? That I was trying to build up to. So fast forward to the end of the year, and I guess the teacher, that was a rookie mistake. So anyways, now that I'm in the safe zone, I guess, the teacher kind of caught wind, I guess, that I was, and like discovered these emulation websites, and because the class was handled like a bird class, right? We never had an exam to end the semester off with.
So it was super chill, right? We had a little video game tournament at the end that was hosted by the teacher and everything. And one of the segments she had was a retro gaming segment. And it was like a diet version of The Wizard, right? And one of the segments in that was a Super Mario Brothers speedrunning race. And that was at the very end, so... That was at the very end of the very last class of the semester, so that's how you know, right? What I'm building up to is that shit was real and the stakes were high, right? I was in that segment, of course, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but with all these kids being more used to their Roblox and their Minecrafts these days, I tore ass at that speedrunning race, and I got to World 8, you know, just in time for, you know, where, not necessarily by the end of the class, but, I got to World 8, you know, at the time where you'd start feeling anxious and shit, because, the bell was about, like, you'd see the clock and you notice the final hours right before the bell rings, and, I got to, like, 8:03, I think, at the latest, before, these kids showed up, right? These kids, you know how it is when you're about to leave school. Anyways, yeah, I'm sure you guys all know how it is when you're about to leave school, right? How, you know, in most situations it's not advised, but because this was like an exam day for a bird course, there's nothing really to do. They'd have all these kids congregating in the doors to leave the room, right? And, well, one of these kids, I guess, got bored of waiting overtime. So he went up to me while I was doing my Mario speedrun, and, well, to put it lightly, he deliberately fucked my run-up, right, by, making me jump off one of the pits in World 8-3, because, for those of you who don't know, right, World 8-3, like, builds up to Bowser's Castle, where you have to go through this, like, crazy, this narrow, like, bridge, I guess, of, like, blocks that lead to, like, if you fall down them, they're all pitfalls, right? So it was crazy, like crazy, you know, the stakes were high, I was just saying, right, to get through the end of this. And this kid just takes the keyboard out of my hands, and he makes me run off the cliff and die. And, he basically irreversibly fucked my run-up, right? Not good. So... Oh boy, we're about to get to the part that, people are going to be like, oh no, about, you know, before you judge me for my action, just again realize that this was near the end of the first year of my first year, so shit was real, okay? I had to chase this kid down. I spent the last, like, the people personally can attest to that. I spent the end of this class chasing this kid down like Officer Earl, right? I was in hot pursuit. I was hunting this kid down like a goddamn tyrant from Resident Evil, right? And I'm not just talking about like the Mr. X type tyrants. Like I was hunting this kid down like the Nemesis, right? After like mutation number 3. Like I was hunting this kid down through the hallways. Hell, you know, you probably could have heard me going stars down the hallway. But no, he got away before I was able to. Excuse me. He got away before anything violent could have happened, right? Because, well, you know, I'm a pretty chill, pacifist kind of guy. Those of you guys who know me in person kind of know that. But if you fuck my Mario runs, man. If you fuck my Mario runs, man, there will be bloodshed. But there wasn't that time. But, no. If you're watching this, man, we are cool now. I haven't talked to you in a while, but, you know, I forgive you for messing my Mario run up now. So don't worry about that. But, yeah, that was just a fun story from my early years of high school. I guess a nostalgic memory at this point, you know, of me playing Super Mario Brothers. It's weird because, you know, again, as I said before, I never really grew up with the Super Mario, like the original Super Mario Brothers. Rookie mistake. But, you know, man, like I never really grew up with the original Super Mario Brothers because I grew up way after the NES was released. I grew up during like the GameCube era, right? But I still have a crazy bundle of nostalgia for Super Mario Brothers, and I think that's cool, man. Like,
being able to attach to this game. It's kind of heartwarming. You know how this game has a special spot in your heart, even after all these years. Or this game can have a whatever. All right, but yeah, no, this was. It's just fun revisiting this game, man. I don't know how else to say it, but like, you can't go wrong with the OG Super Mario Brothers, man. Like, you just can't. It is what it is. Timeless classic for a reason. So let's get through this place unscathed. As old Samus Aran. Alright. Ah! Ooh. That was super close. I went Ultra Instinct dodging that fire there. Alright, let's give Bowser a good peppering. Yeah, there we go. Alright. There we go. Oh. Thank you, Samus. But the hatchling is in another castle.
Hey, well, this is awkward, isn't it? I know it's a bit anticlimactic of me to put this in the video, at this part of the video, you know, like real time in the middle of the video. But if you couldn't tell by my mangier hair, because around the time I originally took this video I got a haircut, and the Batman shirt instead of the Star Wars shirt, it's been a while, and I have to re-record the second half of this video because the face cam footage shot itself and corrupted, which is lovely. It's cool, I get to replay the game again from World 4 and beyond. But yeah, no, sorry for leaving you guys hanging with, you know, just drip feeding you guys shorts for the past little while. I know, you know, in my position on YouTube at least, I don't do this with high stakes because I don't intend to make money off the videos I make on here, or do YouTube as a job where I have to get pressured to make stuff for sponsors and whatever. But, you know, I just don't feel cool with leaving you guys hanging like this for the past little while with no explanation. And also, again, sorry for just dropping that news here, like, in the middle of the video, because I know that's super anticlimactic of me to do. But no, I just figured out that the video was corrupted and I had to re-record it again. And just a lot of things in life happened that kind of pushed that back. And here I am now near the end of January, getting this out and edited, because, fun story, this was originally intended to be a New Year's special, alongside the Shovelware Shit Show reboot. And yeah, I've been also busy redesigning the thumbnails. Same technique, making them a combination of traditional hand drawing and digital editing. I might make a video someday talking about my process making thumbnails, but no, for now, sit back, relax, get yourself some more snacks if you're already out, and let's do the Mario.
How are y'all doing? I know that, you know, this is supposed to be a done-in-one, and, you know, my goofy ass should have edited this into the beginning of the video or something, but you know what, I'm going to keep this authentic the way it is, because this is the first piece of feature-length content I've recorded of the year. So, you know, we're going to keep this a two-parter in spirit, I guess, keep the old introduction going, even though I don't really have a formal intro. Like, I had one that I was experimenting with, but, you know, I don't feel like, you know, one of those big shot YouTube channels that goes around flaunting an intro with music and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, no, anyways. How have y'all been doing? Because, again, this was originally intended to be uploaded as a New Year's special, as I implied with that little segue there. My New Year's been alright, you know, peaceful and quiet most of the time, with a little bit of existential dread in there. You know, it's fun. Because, you know, this is the year I start my 20s, so this is the year when society's going to start throwing the burdens of adulthood at me, and all the old people are trying to, you know, see if I have an ambitious plan for my future, and they, you know, every time they go, oh, where do you plan on going? They expect me to, you know, give them a wide, starry-eyed response and go, oh, I want to go here and here to study here and here, and marry Hoo-Ha and make Hoo-Ha Jr., and then I want to go get this job so that I can live in this rich villa and blah 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 blah. But you know, not that you to discount it, because talking about the future is definitely important, but it is definitely sometimes a dreadful topic to think about, because you know, just moving on with your life is
isn't easy, especially in these times with how utterly fucked the economy is. Enough doomer ranting. Here's the secret beanstalk to World 8. But you know, we're not gonna play this like a sweaty little speedrunner, so we're gonna do this the halal way. You know what I'm saying? All 32 levels, no cheese, no parmesan, no I was about to say oregano cheese. What is wrong with me? No mortadella, no provolone. None of that, alright? We're gonna just do this level the way Lord and Savior Miyamoto intended. But you know, aside from, you know, the existential dread I've been facing, my New Year's been pretty cheerful and, excuse me, peaceful. I got to meet some relatives and long-distance friends of mine that moved out, you know, whether it be for stuff like, well, just living in the Maritimes for a little bit, or you know, going out to do ambitious college things in the big city, that sort of stuff. I got to see some friends and family of mine that were up to that sort of stuff, which is really cool. And I got to see my cousin, and he almost fell off that pit. That would have been really amateurish. But yeah, I met my cousin, reunited with him. It's not like any whack, you know, oh, I just met my cousin for the first time. I don't think I have any relatives like that. They're like weird. I don't have any Josuke Higashikatas in my family. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I met my cousin, reunited with my cousin, and yeah, we got to play Dark Souls together. He gave me Dark Souls, the original one, which is really cool. Sometime in the future, you guys might see me suffer through that. Maybe foreshadowing something, you know, in the future. Yeah. Yeah, I got to try the original Dark Souls out. It was fun, you know. It's a good game in the sense that it's by masochistic Japanese people for masochistic Japanese people, and yeah, lots of suffering, but you know, it's pretty fun. And on top of that, I also you know, speaking of suffering, Jesus, is that what the segue from the Doomer rant is? Suffering? No, I got to reread Berserk because also my cousin got me one of those omnibus for the Berserk manga, like the 3-in-1s. Fuck. Oops. But no, my cousin got me one of those Berserk omnibus, which has all 3 of the, I think, the first volumes in it. Because, you know, I like Berserk, but I've never really been too exposed. I don't think exposed enough, at least, because I saw the anime adaptation from the 90s, which has that glorious soundtrack. And, I think that only goes up to the Eclipse, or the end of the flashbacks, I think? Because they're told, like, flashbacks, at least, from what I remember. Which is pretty cool. But I decided to check out the manga, since I got the omnibus. And I guess moving on with that sort of thing, you know, because I'm a fan of Ranma 1/2, that was one of the shows that was keeping me, you know, entertained during the second lockdown in 2021. I decided to check out Urusei Yatsura, which is another show by the same creator, I believe. And yeah, it's all the usual. I think it's you know, those shows rely on a lot of like slapstick, like bonkers, absurdist humor, almost to a point where like you'd think the writers are drugged out making parts of the show. And yeah, Urusei Yatsura is definitely like that. There were definitely parts where it felt like the writers were on crack, at least. More so than Ranma did, I'd say. But yeah, it was a blast checking that out. It sucks because the original series isn't legally available to watch in Canada because ShowPro is, you know, a very dicky company, you know, when it comes to that sort of thing. So I kind of had to resort to pirating the series, but it was a blast because I'd seen little bits and pieces of it before, right? You know, I've seen clips of it out of context, and I've seen a few episodes. I even watched all the episodes that were dubbed into English by the BBC, so those episodes felt more like a weird Monty Python parody of Rusei Atsuda, but it's not the full show that they dubbed, unfortunately. It's only a little bit. But that was fun, and I got to finally see what the original series is all about, and it's literally just the out of context clips, but on steroids. That's the best way I can describe watching the full show. It's great. It's really great. You know, the main characters are very contemptible. You know, they're not exactly the most committed. You know what I'm saying? They're the kinds of people that Andrew Tate probably inspired from. There actually is a character who I think is definitely Andrew Tate with hair in that show, but it's just good fun. It's literally just good fun. You're not really supposed to take any of it. It's not one of those kinds of animes that really has a serious plot at all. It's kind of like Gumball, but a little bit more Japanese, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, moving on from, you know, that sort of thing, I guess to more familiar territory, which is, I've been working on some mods for my consoles, that, you know, ranging from various, you know, levels, because I've been working on some that aren't very significant, like I've just been taking apart a Super Nintendo controller, because I have the, you know, the grittier North American style ones, which have the purple and like a metallic silver color scheme. I decided to check out getting one colored up to look like the Japanese and the European color scheme for the Super Famicom and the SNES, right? And I'm not going to spoil which series I'm going to bring back because OG viewers will know this was one of the big segments I used to have in my olden days, during the days of yore on here, but, you know, involving various Japanese games in no specific order. But yeah, that is a series that I will definitely bring back, because it'll be really cool playing those games more immersively with the Japanese-style controller. But, yeah, in addition to that, that mod, I've been working on getting my PS2 to read foreign discs, so it can read not just repros, but also imports from Japan and stuff, which is really cool, because the PlayStation's... You know, the PlayStations have got a cool supply of old Japanese games, or I guess just games that were locked in Japan, and it would be really, well, yeah, really cool kind of experiencing both of those on original hardware. The shit, I'm stuck. PlayStation, I have two PS2s that I modded, and I keep both a fat and a slim one around, because the fat one is the one I use that mainly plays PS2 games, so that's the one I use for the Japanese PS2 games. But there is a... got to the axe, basically. That was like a murder-suicide. There we go. That's the ticket. No! But anyways, the slim one, it will read games, but only PS1 games, so I decided to do the straw tape and tissue mod to basically turn it into a PS1 on steroids. And yeah, in addition to gaming stuff, I guess, in the new year, I've been getting into, well, I haven't really been getting into this, per se, but, this is a project I helped a buddy of mine out, a little while ago that only just got finished, which is really cool. So, if you don't know my buddy Nick, he's a pretty big, I guess, influence on this community. He's one of my friends in the founding fathers of the 8-Bit Guild. But yeah, he's into filmmaking. He's one of my friends that's gone off to do prestigious college things, in the pursuit of filmmaking at least. But in the summer we reunited to, you know, I was given the prestigious honor of becoming the secondary main character in his movie, Jeremy and Winston, which is a little detective drama. It's like a 40s style noir, and yeah, originally it's funny because I wasn't meant to play a super significant character, but I think it was really originally intended to be like the bartender, That's the guy Nick's grandpa went on to play. But originally Nick's grandpa was slated to be the second main character, which is Jeremy, right? Because the movie's called Jeremy and Winston. And Jeremy is supposed to be like this old grizzled cop, which, you know, I think I got that down. Right then, come in. This godforsaken case is gonna drive me to my grave. And I was brought in to basically take care of that and do old grizzled cop things. I got to say snarky one-liners. I got to chastise him for being late to work. I got to dress finely, you know, all that good stuff. And I won't spoil it, but I dish out some serious ass whoopings in this movie. Like, goddamn. Anyways, go check it out. It's free. It's a bite-sized little 15-minute short film, too. You know, it's not goddamn Avatar, where it feels more like an endurance test to sit through, you know. Not that I have anything against James Cameron, but I feel like, you know, he's going a little too hard with this whole ambitious filmmaking thing, trying to make his films a spectacle, you know, instead of properly trying to make a, I don't know, like a film. Like, he's got try-hard syndrome when it comes to making his movies, like, revolutionary. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any ill feelings to the guy, but I feel like he's going down the path of the dark side. What was I going off on? Oh yeah, Nick's movie. You know, he's a friend of mine, and I guess I'm the face of the movie. You know, I'm the one who's all over the thumbnails and the promotional material and everything, which is really weird. You know, because I feel like he should be the face of the movie since it's both his movie and you know, it's a movie that's supposed to be like a duo cop movie. So yeah, it's cool. Check it out. It's on YouTube. I'll link it in the description, actually. Jeremy and Winston. Yeah, if you also saw in my Instagram a little while ago, that's what we were doing. Walking through Salvo Beach, all finally dressed up in like 20s detective drip. That's why I made the joke about how, well, I mean, you know, Peaky Blinders isn't about detectives. But I made a joke that I look like Asian Peaky Blinders in the summer. Alright, here we go. 6-4, I think. Oh, is this just the first castle, but, like, asset flipped? Oh, this is... Fuck. We're at the part of the game where, Nintendo started to get a little lazy and, go crazy with the asset flipping. So, there's, I think this level and the first chunks of World 7, or the second half of World 7 is just asset flip levels. I hate to, you know, destroy the magic and all that, but that's the cold hard Super Mario Brothers. Oh god, that gave me genuine anxiety, because this is the first level that Bowser would start throwing hammers and stuff, along with, you know, just being able to spit fire. Here we go. World 7. We're in the last 2 worlds of the game now. Shit's about to get penultimate. Duh! Holy goddamn. So many bullet bills. What is this place? Is this like the... Ah! Ho 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 ho! Nice try. Is this like the Mushroom Kingdom's version of America? Fucking Shootland? Oh god. Okay. Oh, that got hairy. Ooh. I've never found the one in World 7 before, so yeah, there you go. You learn something new every day. That's another one of the endearing reasons why Super Mario Brothers holds up after all these years. That was very... very close. I gotta not get hammered. I think I'm doing a bloody good job getting not hammered. Come on. There we go. Fuck! Oh, that was close, man. Alright, now the dominance has been asserted, so, let's go. Here we go. Get mushed up. Ooh! Ha 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 ha. You thought you could get away?
Newsflash, Cold Bill. You can't escape me. So we're at World 7-2 now. So this is where the rest of World 7 just turns into an asset flip, because I hate to have to ruin the magic for you guys, but just as a little, I guess, a fun behind-the-scenes fact about this game. Even though there were instances in World 5 and World 6 where they reused a little bit of older content from this game, I'm trying not to lose the Squid Games here.
If you fail a challenge in the Squid Game, you get eliminated.
This is, World 7 is probably the part of the game where they get the most blatant with the asset reuse. Because, like, 2/3 of, I think, 3/4 of World 7 are just reused levels and shit from World 2. And, this is the first instance of that, because I think this is the only other occurrence in the game that you can, legally find that's an underwater, like, its own underwater level. And it just uses World 2 as a skeleton. Almost swim into a fish, sorry. Except for, there's another world, I think World 8 has an underwater segment. That's fresh and new, but this one is just, reused from 2-2. But anyways, we finished the first of the repurposed levels of the game, so hurrah. Now onto the second of the reused asset levels from World 7. This is just 2-3, but there's more stuff in it, so there's Koopas, there's a lot more jumpy fish. Again, as I said, it's quite morbid, because, these fish are basically committing suicide by shriveling themselves up like this, because they can't breathe over water for long periods of time, so, gotta commend their dedication to the Koopa cause, which is just Bowser being a simp, I guess. There might be a bigger, badder origin story for him in the movie, but no, for now, the NES games kept the lore simple, and Bowser is just a simp for Peach. That's what the war is being fought over, I guess. Alright, so I think this is the second time they used the maze gimmick when they designed the castles in this game, right? Because I pointed it out in World 4, but this is another one of those kinds of castles where you gotta go through it in a specific order, or else it'll just loop endlessly like a maze, and you're gonna feel like you go insane if you're not sure of where you're going. But I've played this game, a fair bit enough, so I know where all the good shit is. Oh, almost got fireball. That wouldn't be good. Alright, we're gonna just give the imposter Bowser a blitzing. There we go, that's what you want. Thank you, Jason, but your frog is in another castle. Alright, here we are, World 8. If shit didn't already feel penultimate enough before, well, now it's about to feel truly penultimate, because we're on the very end of the game now. So, yeah, let's not die here. Fuck. Well, so much for that rule. Get all the money, get all the fame, get all the fortune. Oops. I missed some of the money, but oh well. It's just a little block. Phew. Alright, I didn't choke through 8-1. That's good, because, you know, I'm rusty at Super Mario, and, the end of this level used to be one that still gave me anxiety, back in my prime, so let's stay unchoked. Alright, here we go. Ah. Surviving the beginning of this level is also a bit anxiety-inducing. The key here is to not get yourself cramped. Oh shit! Oh, nice try, big man. Yeah, the key to surviving the beginning to A2, even though it seems daunting, is just to not let yourself get cramped, and I died. Anyway. Right, so, I choked on the Koopa's foot again. Let me get the 1-up in peace, please. Oh! There we go, okay. There we go, come to Papa. This is a lot more annoying with the lag, too. Because I've noticed this has started lagging around a little bit and getting all bitsy, which is really annoying. Yes, sir. Alright, here we go. This is another little jump that makes me choke in this game. Oh, alright, we made it. We made it. Get more money. And, come on. Fuck. More clout? Yes, sir. Alright, alright. Oh! 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 Holy shit, that was a massive lag spike. Goddamn. Alright. Just gotta get through him. And... yes! Amen, baby. We got through World A2. Phew. But the hard part of World 8 is still yet to come. Alright, so this is what I truly consider the infamous part of World 8. Because this level reintroduces the Hammer Brothers, and this is the last time they mainly appear to assert their dominance again, so... you gotta be a little careful here. And not getting made into the Hammer Bros bitch. There we go. I think we asserted our dominance pretty good there. Alright, come on. Let's get the... oh, hell yeah! And we can fly over the bullet bills now, too, which is pretty cool. Let's charge up the hover a little bit. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I stuck to the wall. Oh, come on. Stop lagging. Ah! Oh, shit. I gotta hurry. Come on. Die! Alright, I think we've asserted all the dominance we can on the Hammer Bros. Let's get all the fame and clout out of this box. Alright, this is the part that the kid ruined my speedrun at.
Alright, we made it. We're at the end now. I feel like there's no better way to do this than going back to good old Mario as a poetic way to send Mario crossover off. This also uses the funny maze gimmick that World 4 and World 7 had, but I don't know, there's less of I don't know how to put it. It's a little bit more easier to find all the places, because there's like obvious little hints as to where they are instead of, you know, just random guessing at first. Oh, fuck. This part has cheeps. This is probably gonna get hairy with lag. Alright, never mind, no hair. It's pretty shaved. Alright. This is the other part that could get hairy with lag. Because the underwater stuff is back. Alright, let's just lure the squid. Oh, you little shit. Let's not play the Squid Games. Okay, here we go. Oh! Oh, I almost got torched. Okay, that was close. That was very, very close. That was very hairy. That was a very spicy meatball. Alright, here we go. The last Hammer Bro. Okay, here we go. The finale. Are you ready? Bam. There we go. We did it. We are the Super Mario Brother.
Thank you, Mario. Your quest is over.
What? Oh, it transitioned into the end credits. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, there's a lot of credits to go through. Oh. I don't want to be rude, but just this is gonna take a while, so there's a long list of games, you know, and reference material and stuff being credited, so yeah, amen to Exploding Rabbit for making Super Mario crossover. Alright guys, well guys, that was Super Mario Crossover. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun replaying this game, although I was way chiller than I was in my other videos, I guess. Like, there were some parts where I still comedically overblew it and had fun doing that, but I was just getting back into the zen, just like reabsorbing the game and taking it all back in, especially because I hadn't really played the original in ages, right? So it was really nice reintroducing myself to the NES this way, especially, well, not necessarily to the NES, that's a little bit of a lie, because obviously I'm playing the crossover remix, but it is an NES game, right? It's all a big tribute to the NES. Really, it's like a love letter to the NES I reintroduced myself to. But yeah, it was also cool, kind of playing this game for myself firsthand and re-experiencing it with this fresh new coat of paint, and trying to, I guess, adapt to that, like getting used to the physics of all the other characters and stuff like that. But yeah, with all that waffling out of the way, guys, if you guys liked this video, which I think you did, you know, I'd hope you did if you came all this way, and you know, you could have left the video at any time you wanted, but if you like this video, then it would be nice of you to like the video, and give the channel a subscription if you want to be extra cool. Follow me on my other social media, link in the description below, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Ciao, y'all.